classic hits on FM 100.1 and AM 1600, The Cardinal. The Cardinal is AM 1600 KDAK, Carrington, and FM 100.1 K261EW, Carrington. Locally owned and operated by I3G Media.
It's time to find out what's going on in Carrington Cardinals athletics on the Carrington Coaches Show on KDAK The Cardinal and the KDAK The Cardinal YouTube page. The Carrington Coaches Show takes you behind the scenes of all things Cardinal athletics. Now, live from the Prairie Inn in Carrington, here is BJ Walters.
Thank you very much to our buddy Ricky Clottercamp for that intro. Indeed it is the Carrington Coaches Show. BJ Walters here with you at the Prairie Inn Restaurant and Bakery. You know I'm going to start the show with specials, and they've got them for you today. An omelet special is the Philly omelet today. Roast beef, onions, green peppers, mushrooms, and Swiss cheese in a 3-egg omelet served with pancakes or toast. And I'm sorry, but this Monday special, smothered chicken breast dinner. Grilled chicken with onions, mushrooms, green peppers, and Swiss cheese served with mashed potatoes, a vegetable, and a dinner roll or toast. And coming up, we've got a full hour for you. We will be joined by the volleyball program, head coach Megan Troutman, and senior co-captain Isabel Wendell will join us to talk about their 2-0 start to the season. Coming up very shortly, in about 15 minutes, we'll have Tate Wolski from this guy's football team. The head coach of the Carrington Cardinals starts every week off by joining us, Kyle Smith. And Coach, one region game down, one region win, and on the road, no less. A good start to Region 2 play.
Yeah, I mean, it's never easy to win on the road, and I thought we got off the bus much better this week than we did in Beulah. Kids took it to them early, and I think we scored 3 out of our first 4 possessions, which is just huge on the road. And again, against the Grafton team that has some potential to be very explosive offensively, so we wanted to keep scoring, and we're just really happy with how we started the game this week versus last week, and hopefully we got that out of our system and understand the importance of that first drive and the importance of being aggressive and playing well early.
Head coach Kyle Smith joining us. If you're watching on YouTube, you see this scrolling across the top of the screen, but you too can ask Coach Smith some questions. You can tweet us at KDAK The Cardinal on Facebook, KDAK 1600. Go to the post promoting this show, and you can ask Coach Smith the question. You can text it in 218-553-1246 or email us, bj@newsdakota.com. Let's start with that opening drive, because your first 8 plays were run plays, and then you get that nice little swing pass out to McCade for the touchdown. I know most coaches will script about 10 or 15 plays. Were those all off of the script? And if so, you must have been very pleased with the physicality right from the get-go.
I was. First of all, yes, I was very pleased with our physicality, and I script 1 play. The kids know what play we're running first, and then I'm just a total down and distance guy, and that's why we passed when we did. I think we ground and pound and ball down to the 3-yard line or so, and then we had a big loss, and then came back with a throw executed very nicely by the kids, and good route by Corbin to open up McCade on the edge and draw us through a dime, and that was a big first drive to get a lead.
And then you have that second drive where Grafton calls a timeout before the 3rd down play. And that seems like a perfectly reasonable thing to do, but it gave you guys a chance to talk. And typically when you guys this year have had a chance to talk on the sideline, you're going to come out and have an explosive play. And every time you throw the ball to 16 this year, it's a touchdown so far.
Yeah, that was, again, I think it was good for our kids too. It was a pretty hot night, so it was a way to get our kids a little fresher and get them a drink, and yeah, that play to Ryder, he was actually our 3rd option on that pass. You know, we look for the out, we look for the in, and then they were both covered well, and Josh just went through his progression and found Ryder, made an awesome throw. Ryder made a perfect catch on the run, and no one's going to catch him in the open field. So very nice play. Again, another play that opened up a lead for us.
So you go up 13-0, and I'm so glad that you revealed to us that that's the third read, because your offensive line completely dominated this football game from the word go to the final whistle. Complete domination. Josh had all day to throw, and I'm certain of all the times that a quarterback in the history of football has gone 100% in a game, I'll bet the offensive line was pretty good in every single one of those games.
Yeah, exactly, and that was a point of emphasis for us over the past 2 weeks, because games 1 and 2, that was pretty inconsistent as far as the pass blocking, and so Coach Holmes worked with those guys a lot over this last week, and boy, yeah, Josh had time to stand in the pocket and pick out receivers, and like you said, that play, when you go through your progressions and you're still not getting hit, you got some time, and so a lot of those completions were credit to the O-line.
So you go into the locker room up 19-0, and if you're a younger team, that's difficult to do, because you might have a guy or two thinking, all right, this is done, what have you. But no, in the second half you come out and you just sort of picked up right where you left off. What was that halftime locker room talk like? Was it basically about putting the foot on the throat and finish the game off?
Exactly. Our message at halftime was, hey, it's we got to come out and play like a 0-0, because when you don't, that's when bad things happen, injuries, big plays. So you need to start that second half. And I always say that first drive of the third quarter is probably the most important drive of the game. And we came out and stuffed them and got the ball back. And so that was a big part of us building a bigger lead yet, was that opening drive of the third quarter.
So your defensive line, in my mind, dominated this game. They didn't do it with tackles for loss. They didn't do it with anything like that. But it seemed like they dominated in opening up space for the linebackers to make all the plays. And then B, when they, and this is really hard for a high school kid to do, when they understood they weren't going to get to the quarterback, they took away his passing lanes.
Yeah, exactly. First of all, I think both our our starting D tackles are big kids, and a lot of times they demand double teams. And when kids are double teaming, that leaves kids like Tate and Corbin and McCade, nobody blocking them, and they make a lot of tackles. And so a lot of times those D linemen don't get enough credit when they're not making a lot of tackles, but it's because they're absorbing blocks and freeing up our linebackers to make tackles. And then, like you said, pressure on the quarterback, getting in passing lanes. They're just doing a great job, and that's going to be vitally important this week with Harvey. They got a really mobile quarterback with a good arm, so we need to be assignment sharp and continue.
When you look back at that game, put it into perspective for us. Your first team defense allowed 73 yards to their starting offense. You've mentioned it several times to us over the last week. That's a Grafton offense that can get pretty explosive. They did here a year ago. Just how impressive was that for you as a coaching staff to see your defense just completely and totally shut them down?
It was, I can't say I expected it, but I was very pleased with it. It was kind of like week 1 when we shut out Southern McLean. I wasn't expecting that, but Grafton has a very explosive offense, so they have some quick kids at the skill position, and their quarterback has a really good arm, and so to shut those guys down for basically 3 3/4 of the game was pretty impressive by our defense and Coach Holm.
Maddox had quite the night, didn't he, trying to defend Reggie Rice. There were some physical battles out there, but ultimately Rice finishes with under 50 yards receiving. Maddox did a great job.
He did, and if we tackle him like we should have, he probably has less. But yeah, Maddox did a great job getting in his face and disrupting routes, and we did a good job rallying to him too. A lot of times we had 2 or 3 guys around him making a tackle. We knew he was a dangerous weapon, so we had to contain him.
So this is something that, just as a sports fan in general, there are certain characteristics when you know you're either cheering for, or in this case for me, covering a good team. And the number one thing for me has always been, do you know what you're going to get before the team ever steps out on the field? In 3 games, you've been within 50 yards offensively of yourselves in all 3 games. You've had 34, 32, and 34 points offensively. Your defense through 3 games has only given up 34 total points, and your starters less than that. Is that the sign of a good football team? And is that also a sign of a mature football team, that you pretty much are just replicating what you want to be every single Friday night?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, it's a sign of a good football team. You know, when you can spread the ball out like we have, you know, I think the most carries anyone's had in a game has been like 8 or 9, and that's because we have skill kids that are all explosive and are a big threat. So teams can't defend one or two things. They've got to defend the pass, they've got to defend the run, they've got to defend outside, they've got to defend the inside, and so I think that's where a lot of the total yards and the scores come from, is we've just been consistent because we can spread the ball around. Defensively too, I think we've had 3 games. We've had 3 different players of the game defensively because we've just got a bunch of athletic kids on defense that fly around and make tackles, and so the consistency, I think, is because we're good and the kids are competitive.
Last question for you before we go to break. You switched it up a little bit because of the threat of the pass with Grafton from a 4-4 to a 4-3. For the novice football fan, what's the biggest adjustment going from the one formation to the other, aside from Ryder going from DN to free safety, where, oh, by the way, he got an interception too?
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. His first time playing safety. He really just started playing there this week, and he's second possession of the game, he got a pick. That was pretty cool. But the biggest difference is, you have 7 in the box versus 8, so you're a little more susceptible to run. So the kids, the linebackers especially, have to make sure they're stepping to their gap and they know their assignment. So you become a little more susceptible to run in a 43 than a 44. But you make up for that. You have a little more protection back in the pass. You can have 4 D-backs running 4 over, or 2 man under, whatever you want to do. So it gives you a little more flexibility pass defense-wise.
Well, it is a 3-0 start, more importantly 1-0 in region play. Carrington returns home for a big one Friday night with Harvey Wells County. I jokingly told, well, it wasn't a joke, it was dead serious. I told Coach Pickett at practice earlier, and we'll get into this later, Coach. I told Coach Pickett, I said that's the best 0-3 football team I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, they've had an awful tough schedule. I know Valbo was rated number 1. They played Edgeley the first game. Edgeley is a real tough team down in that region, in that really good region. And then they played Langdon, who's rated number 4. So our kids know that, and every year we play Harvey, it doesn't seem to matter how good they are, how good we are. It's always a good game, and this year they are very skilled, and so we know we're in for a game. It doesn't matter. Records are thrown out the window. Again, we're going to go with the attitude we're 0-0, and this is a big region win for us.
We'll preview it more coming up at the bottom of the show when we come back. One of the stars from Friday night, he scored his first 2 rushing touchdowns of the season. Tate Wolski joins us when the Carrington Coaches Show continues in a moment.
There's no community like a Cenex community. That's why every Cenex store is proud to serve theirs by supporting local athletic teams, promoting the arts, and making sure each store is a place its neighbors can find what they need, catch up with their friends, and stay connected. It's also why we give back, helping to make the wonderful places we call home the best they can be. The store next door, powered locally at Cenex.
Visit your local Arrowwood Prairie Co-op in Carrington, Wimbledon, Cooperstown, and Sutton.
Looking for great rates and a secure investment? Well, we have the right options to grow your savings. Hi, this is Tiffany Paulson at Bank Forward Carrington. Our current CD specials offer a variety of options, including annual percent yield as high as 5% for 7 months. Stop in today for all the details. Helping you save more. It's simply the Forward way. Additional terms and conditions apply. Bank Forward, member FDIC.
Dakota Central is proud to be the local company that provides you with the most up-to-date high-tech communication options. Come join us while we celebrate you. Customer Appreciation Day is September 11th at the Dakota Central Jamestown location from 8:30 till 4. Stop by for treats, giveaways, and a chance to win door prizes. Dakota Central provides it all, and we want to thank you, our local customer. Customer Appreciation Day is September 11th at the Jamestown location from 8:30 till 4.
When it comes to making farm decisions, nothing is better than seeing for yourself how products perform in the field. I'm Darren Hefty with Hefty Seed Company, and we want to invite you to our Wilton Plot Tour. On Friday, September 6th, we'll be showcasing plots with the latest hybrids and varieties of corn, soybeans, and wheat, as well as comparison trials of numerous natural products. Plus, our expert agronomists will be on hand to help you build your best strategies to maximize yields and minimize costs. Join us at our Wilton store at 9 a.m. Friday, September 6th.
When you're thinking
Thinking about insurance, think of Bickett Insurance. Bickett Insurance, through our partnership with Auto Owners Insurance, can take care of your farm, home, auto, business, or life insurance needs. The agents of Bickett Insurance have over 115 years of insurance experience, and we are from here, so we know how to design policies to protect the things important to you. Let Bickett Insurance give you a free proposal from Auto Owners Insurance or one of our many other partners. Give Bickett Insurance a call at 652-1775 today.
Carrington sports fans, want to stay on top of all the local action? Catch what you missed by checking out the Foster County Independent. From game-changing plays to memorable moments, we've got you covered with the most in-depth sports coverage in town. And don't miss our stunning photo galleries that capture every thrilling moment and winning smile. For the latest scores, stories, and stunning sports shots, grab your copy of the Foster County Independent today or visit us online at fosterconews.com.
It's the Carrington Coaches Show live at Prairie Inn Restaurant and Bakery. A couple of the specials. The ham and egg scramble with toast is the breakfast special. This is the only place in town you can get breakfast all day. And the sandwich special is the 1/3 pound pepper jack bacon burger. Boy, getting hungry just thinking about it. I don't actually know what I'm going to get afterwards. I just know I'm going to get something. Our next guest had his first 2 touchdown rushes of the season, and I know we haven't statted the game yet, but I'm sure you were in double digits again on tackles defensively. Running back and linebacker Tate Wolski joins us. Tate, 3-0, pretty good feeling.
Yeah, it's an awesome feeling. Kudos to the team and the coaches on getting us ready for this 3-0 start, and it's awesome. It's an awesome feeling.
How was a week of prep different for a region game?
Oh, the week of practice was just, the intensity was there, and it was just, there was a lot of intensity, people just knocking each other. It was a fun week.
So you go over there, and Coach Smith had been telling you guys all week, we have to be the more physical football team. So how much fun was that first drive, just going out there, running it right down their throat, and then you got the touchdown at the end?
It was awesome, just seeing how physical we got, and kudos to our offensive line for letting us run that football down the field, and it was awesome seeing how physical the game got the first couple of drives of the game.
What was the key to you guys getting after Kyler Druk? Because I think by the end of that game, he was just pleased to be out of the game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, our Mr. Hone had a great game plan, and kudos to our D-line for getting pressure on him, because I don't know, maybe every pass attempt he either had a hand in his face or he got knocked out, or he got knocked down or something like that. It was fun.
So second half, well, actually right before halftime, it's 13-0. The first touchdown that you scored, that's a very important moment in the game because that gave you guys a 3-score lead. How did that change what went on in the huddle during halftime? I mean, it's got to give you guys a lot of confidence.
Oh, it gave us a lot of confidence, just being up that big, and then putting the foot on the throat and just running it down their throats and everything. It was awesome.
So your second touchdown, I wish I would have had some crowd noise because there were some oohs and ahs out there when you made that cut. You stuck your foot in the ground, changed direction, and got downhill. Take us through that play.
Andrew Matt and Cody Otto made 2 great blocks, and I saw that, and I read it, and I just planted and went. And kudos to those 2 for making 2 great blocks.
All right, so on the other side of the football, we know that all 3 of you linebackers are back from last year. How has that helped you guys early in this year, that there is no learning what the other guy is going to do? You already know what the other guy is going to do.
Yeah, it's huge for us being able to have everybody back. It's cool how we all know each other and what we can do, what we can't do. It's cool to see what we can do.
It is. So far, 3-0. Typically I like to ask coaches this, but I mean, this is your second year on varsity. This is not new to you. What have you learned about your team so far this year that you didn't already know?
Honestly, really nothing. We're just a really tough, gritty football team, and you can expect a fight out of us every Friday night, and if you're not ready for it, then you're going to find yourself down big.
I love the confidence, and that's another thing that you guys have. There's not a one of you that lacks confidence.
Yeah, the confidence is there for all of us, and it's huge for us being 3-0. Plus, with it being a rivalry week, being 3-0, they're 0-3. I'm sure they're just as excited as we are, and it'll be a great game.
You guys kind of stole one in Harvey last year a little bit.
Yeah, the one I don't know how we pulled that one off, but we did, and it was a great moment to be around Coach Smith and Coach Hokel, gritty and everything. It was an awesome moment.
What's it like? I mean, I get to see it because I'm out there at practice, but for those who don't get to see it, how competitive are these practices?
Oh, the practices are very competitive. When it's team offense or team defense, it's 110% each play, and if somebody's not giving 110% each play, then they're off to the sideline, or they're on the other, or they're playing defense to whoever our opponent is.
What are you enjoying more, the offensive side of the ball or being on pace for 100 tackles defensively?
Oh, that's a tough one.
I bet it is.
I gotta go with the defense just because I like hitting people. I like just making tackles and being there, and it's an awesome feeling. Being there and just knocking stop bubbles, and yeah.
I mean, it's 2024. Let's act like you kids, or let's not act like you kids don't see standings, don't see schedules and whatnot. Taking it 1 week at a time, you're starting to build a really nice, look to this season. What would it mean to you to, keep this going and maybe step on the field in Langdon with a 6-0 mark?
It'd be an awesome feeling going into there, and going into Langdon 6-0, and who knows? We've had some dogfights with Langdon in the past, and this year it could be the same thing.
It certainly could. Now, despite your huge numbers, and I'm guilty of this, straight up, just going to be honest with you. Sometimes I forget that you're just a junior instead of, a senior, because you're such a leader out there. But if you were watching film and self-critiquing, where do you still want to improve?
I got to improve a little bit defensively on just making reads and making tackles. Offensively, I got to work on finding blocks and work on route running a little bit better. But other than that, I really can't critique anything more.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just the little things.
Yeah, and that's why you guys are 3-0. So what's a road trip like with this bunch? Because having been around you guys, you got some characters to your football team.
Yeah, road trips are rowdy. The bus ride down, everyone is just getting dialed in and everything, and then the bus rides home are rowdy. They're the first hour they're pretty rowdy, and then that other hour it's pretty quiet. Everybody's sleeping and everything.
All right, so I saw one of your offensive linemen with a shirt today that I'm a big fan of. Andrew Matt had a Metallica shirt going on. Now you know your teammate pretty well. What are the chances that he is a big Metallica fan?
That's a pretty big thing, because anytime you go into his car or anything, that's what's playing, and it's blaring.
Right there.
It is blaring.
That's awesome. That's the good music. Back in the day, AC/DC, Metallica, all of that. So before we let you go, what else do you partake in throughout the year? And then have you started to think about what's going to happen to Tate after high school?
I don't know what's going to happen to Tate after high school. I really don't. I haven't thought that far ahead yet, and I'm not going to plan on to until next year. And we just got to keep being a tough, gritty football team and going out there and giving it our all every night, and hopefully come out with a region championship.
You heard it from the man himself. They won a region championship. Hey, just as a last question for you, last year you got that home playoff game. You got that little taste of what it's like. How much are you guys hungry for plenty more of that this year?
Oh, we are hungry for it. It's the atmosphere and everything of last year's playoff game was just amazing. And the fans and everybody came out cheering and everything for us, and it was an awesome feeling.
It certainly was. Well, Tate, continue the great work. 3 games of darn near double-digit tackles. You're starting to become a guy that the opponent looks at on film and says, you see this guy? Avoid him. Get away from him. So congratulations on a fine start to the year, and good luck this Friday against the Hornets.
Yep, thank you, BJ.
Tate Wolski joining us on the Carrington Coaches Show. We'll come back and we'll be joined by head volleyball coach Megan Troutman and senior co-captain Isabel Wendell. They are 2-0, and they are coming off of quite the impressive performance over Thompson on Thursday. We'll talk to them when the Carrington Coaches Show continues in a moment.
There's no community like a Cenex community. That's why every Cenex store is proud to serve theirs by supporting local athletic teams, promoting the arts, and making sure each store is a place its neighbors can find what they need, catch up with their friends, and stay connected. It's also why we give back, helping to make the wonderful places we call home the best they can be. The store next door, powered locally at Cenex.
Visit your local Arrowwood Prairie Co-op in Carrington, Wimbledon, Cooperstown, and Sutton.
Looking for great rates and a secure investment? Well, we have the right options to grow your savings. Hi, this is Tiffany Paulson at Bank Forward Carrington. Our current CD specials offer a variety of options, including annual percent yield as high as 5% for 7 months. Stop in today for all the details. Helping you save more. It's simply the Forward way. Additional terms and conditions apply. Bank Forward, member FDIC.
Dakota Central is proud to be the local company that provides you with the most up-to-date high-tech communication options. Come join us while we celebrate you. Customer Appreciation Day is September 11th at the Dakota Central Jamestown location from 8:30 till 4. Stop by for treats, giveaways, and a chance to win door prizes. Dakota Central provides it all, and we want to thank you, our local customer. Customer Appreciation Day is September 11th at the Jamestown location from 8:30 till 4.
When it comes to making farm decisions, nothing is better than seeing for yourself how products perform in the field. I'm Darren Hefty with Hefty Seed Company, and we want to invite you to our Wilton Plot Tour. On Friday, September 6th, we'll be showcasing plots with the latest hybrids and varieties of corn, soybeans, and wheat, as well as comparison trials of numerous natural products. Plus, our expert agronomists will be on hand to help you build your best strategies to maximize yields and minimize costs. Join us at our Wilton store at 9 a.m. Friday, September 6th.
When you're thinking about insurance, think of Bickett Insurance. Bickett Insurance, through our partnership with Auto Owners Insurance, can take care of your farm, home, auto, business, or life insurance needs. The agents of Bickett Insurance have over 115 years of insurance experience, and we are from here, so we know how to design policies to protect the things important to you. Let Bickett Insurance give you a free proposal from Auto Owners Insurance or one of our many other partners. Give Bickett Insurance a call at 652-1775 today.
Carrington sports fans, want to stay on top of all the local action? Catch what you missed by checking out the Foster County Independent. From game-changing plays to memorable moments, we've got you covered with the most in-depth sports coverage in town. And don't miss our stunning photo galleries that capture every thrilling moment and winning smile. For the latest scores, stories, and stunning sports shots, grab your copy of the Foster County Independent today or visit us online at fosterconews.com.
The Carrington Coaches Show rolling on. The smothered chicken breast dinner here at Prairie Inn is the daily special, the evening special. If we hadn't already made your mouth water, a 12-ounce ribeye steak with Parmesan peppercorn butter, with the choice of potato, dinner roll, or toast, and a dinner salad or a cup of soup. I mean, come on, really? There's so many good options. I'm really going to struggle after the show. The Carrington volleyball team is 2-0, and they're coming off of, if my research is correct, the first sweep of Thompson on the Tommy's home floor in 6 years on Thursday night. They went over there and swept them 21-19 and 20. We're joined by head coach Megan Troutman and senior co-captain Isabel Wendell. And Coach, I think all of our jaws dropped when I revealed that stat. A 2-0 start, but wow, what a performance Thursday.
Yeah, like you said, with them not having gotten swept in 6 years, that actually does not surprise me at all. Everybody knows that Thompson is really strong on the volleyball court. They have a great coach and they have great athletes, and yeah, I mean, that's a crazy statistic, but I think, it's very easy to see that being the case, and so that just kind of adds to how proud we are of ourselves that we showed up and got the job done like that.
And to do that in a first road match, like first road games are supposed to be pretty difficult because it's something new, you don't quite know how everyone's going to react. No problem for y'all.
Yeah, I mean, luckily for us, it wasn't our first match of the season, so we had a really good performance at home, which just really boosted our confidence, and I think the girls did an amazing job of just continuing that momentum throughout the rest of the week, and I think they always go into the Thompson match, whether it's home or away, just knowing that it's going to take a full effort, and we actually talked in particular about it literally being a battle for every point, and even though we're proud of that sweep, no point was just handed to us, and yeah, we're just so proud, and hopefully that momentum can continue for us down the road.
Let's bring your senior co-captain, Isabel Wendell, in. So you go to you've faced Thompson before, good competitive matches. Were you surprised to jump all over them 10-2 in the first set?
Yeah, it was kind of a surprise. I mean, you never know what to expect when you go into a game, obviously, but I mean, starting with that much momentum is really huge in volleyball. I mean, it's only goes to 25 points, and getting up by 8 points is quite a big deal.
So is it a big deal? I know it is in like basketball and whatnot. Is it a big deal in volleyball to take the crowd out of the match? Because I kept watching their student section, and they were waiting and waiting and they never got the chance to get involved in the match.
I mean, energy definitely is a big factor. Even in our first game at home, the second set, I think we started to let Harvey catch back up to us, just because our student section and the crowd wasn't as invested, because it's not so much of a game anymore. So crowd energy definitely has a big impact on our game.
So we'll get to more of the X's and O's on court thing and whatnot, but what did it mean to you to be named a co-captain coming into your senior year?
Yeah, I mean, I've been on varsity for 4 years now, so I mean, I was kind of like really excited, waiting for my turn to, take the reins and lead our team. So,
how long have you girls played together? Because there seems to be a serious amount of continuity here.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we started a JO team with, my mom actually coached it. I think we must have been like 3rd or 4th graders.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, and we have a big senior class. We have 7 girls and 7 seniors in volleyball right now, and we've all kind of been playing with each other for as long as we can remember. So. And
you all, from what I've noticed, have different sorts of leadership styles. Mm-hmm. How does that help, in practice? You and your co-captains can kind of look at each other and who needs to kind of be the one in that moment.
Yeah, we definitely have those connections, just because we've known each other for so long, not just in the sport side of things, but we've just been friends for a long time. So we really know what's going on in each other's minds and the best way to approach a problem if one comes up.
Head coach Megan Troutman and her senior co-captain Isabel Wendell joining us. So, Coach, for you, how easy does it make it when you have those different kinds of leaders as your captains?
I tell the girls in the best way possible that they make my job pretty easy at times. I also tell them that they're definitely a bright spot and usually the highlight of my day. And like Isabel said, like, they've all been great friends and they've been playing the sport that they love since they were itty-bitty, and all thanks to the parents' support and the parents' guidance, you know, early on in their volleyball careers. And yeah, we're just really lucky and fortunate to have the amount of girls that we do as leaders. And like you said, some of them are more quiet but lead by example, and Isabel in particular, she can be the one to really fire them up and, you know, willing to talk and say, hey, we need to hold each other accountable, we need to do this and we need to do that. So like I said, they make my job easy at times, and I'm very fortunate to have a good large group of them this year as seniors.
They also play a lot of sports together. Is momentum a thing? I think back to the spring when no one thought it could possibly happen. They darn near made it to the state tournament this year. Is that a thing, momentum from sport to sport, when a group plays together in all of the sports?
Oh yeah, I mean that definitely plays into it, I would say. And like you said, like, our girls are so athletic and they're smart young girls, and absolutely, I think when they gain confidence in one sport and they get more experience together, then that just aids in the next sport for sure.
Isabel, back to you. You have these seniors, and yet you have two sophomores who really contribute to this team in, had a huge match on Thursday, Callie Hewitt, and then also Harper Coleman. How have you seen their development so far as a leader of the team, and how exciting was that to see Callie just go crazy on Thursday?
Yeah, they've improved like immensely, and I know they started off as like great players, but with Harper playing last year and coming in kind of in a clutch moment, she really showed her skill and proved her point, and just from that point on, she's just gained so much confidence. And I think the same can be said for Callie as well. She's been all over position-wise. She played, you know, all of the front row positions, and she would often come to me from the transition to outside to right side, because that's something that I also had to go through, and it is a little bit of an awkward transition. So she really came to me for guidance, and I've been trying to help her as much as I can, and it's really great to see her, you know, finally get in a groove with it. And she's just so talented, and I just can't wait to see what comes next.
Okay, so I am not even going to begin to act like I am a volleyball expert. Take us through what you're talking about when you say there's an adjustment playing outside to in and inside to out.
Sure, yeah. So when you're right-handed, hitting from the outside, you're often hitting outside of your body in a way. You know, you're not hitting cross body like you would on the right side. So it's definitely like you're going at the court from a different angle. And when you get used to one thing, it can be really hard to adjust to another, and they've been proving that they can make those adjustments when needed.
That's such a good breakdown. Senior co-captain Isabel Wendell joining us, as is head coach Megan Troutman. So talk to us about the rest of the senior class. Yes, there's 3 co-captains, but I think there are 7 of you on the roster.
Yeah. Between the 7 of us, we have a really good dynamic just between all of us. We get along very, very well. We're all good friends inside of sports and outside. And we all have very, like, separate skill sets, I think, too. Like, we have all sorts of positions. We have setters, we have middles, we have attackers on both the outside and right side. We have setters, we have DSs. We just have everything, like a whole arsenal of seniors.
I look at, and I know you all as players watch other teams, and you probably make comparisons to yourself. Eden has a chance to be, from a straight-up blocking standpoint, she has a chance to be as good as Josie Jensen was for Northern Cass. I mean, she had a huge match early on Thursday, and that set the tone.
For sure. Our blocking game on Thursday was incredible. Like, that was one of my biggest takeaways from the game, was how great our middles were doing, getting to all the spots and getting the footwork and getting there so they can make those blocks. And that's really hard for a team. Like, from personal experience, getting blocked, it's kind of like a down feeling, like, oh my gosh, I just got blocked. So when we do that to other teams, like, it makes a huge difference.
Coach, turning to you, want to ask you about the setter position, because a lot of teams have one pretty good setter. You have two of them. I mean, how does that impact a match for you?
Oh, I think that's huge. We've touched on just the girls that we have and how they're so versatile. And like we've talked about before, Isabel's been around for years and years, which we've been so lucky with. And Isabel can kind of do it all. So we need to utilize her setting, but then we also want her attacking. And then on the flip side of that, you know, we've got one of our seniors in Bryn Smith, and she's just always down for any challenge. She's probably played about every position for us, and I'm so happy to see her settling into such an important role of setter, because it's not uncommon for you to kind of hear them referred to as like the floor generals out there. We need them to be fast, we need them to be smart, we need them to be constantly aware and kind of analyzing what are my options, what's the best option. So yeah, we're very fortunate for what we have right now, and even what we've had in the past for setters. And I think what we have had in the past is maybe why we're so strong in that position right now.
Isabel, coming back to you, Coach has told us in preseason that you all are very open about talking about goals coming into the year. What were some of your team goals and then your goals individually for this year?
Yeah. A few of my team goals have to include making the championship bracket at the Deluxe tournament again. It's a really big tournament that includes a lot of Eastern and Western teams, and there's only 8 teams that are a part of it. And we made it last year, and it was a lot of fun. And I guess going along with that is also making the regional championship a game like we did 2 years ago. That's just, you know, the last step before states, and it's just a really important moment, but you also have to, you know, get to that point first, and I think that's a good goal to aim for. So,
Coach, coming to you, part of that goal starts Thursday. I mean, you've got the first district match at Edgeley-Cole Montpelier. Dissect the district for us a little bit. What do you know about it? And it sure seems like EKM and Carrington are kind of similar. Their girls' programs are awfully good.
Yeah, I think every year, you know, every team has some growing pains and some adjustments, obviously spots to fill or rotations to shift around. So, of course, we don't entirely know what to expect from them, but at the same time, our girls have played EKM year after year and multiple times. And so I think our district is very familiar with each other, and we know that they're a scrappy, aggressive team, and they obviously made it to the region championship last year, and so I know that they know what it takes to win, and I know that they can rise to the occasion and play through adversity. So I think, again, we just kind of keep that mentality like we had going into Thompson, like you're going to have to battle for every point. Someone scores a point no matter what. And I think if we just kind of keep our focus on our side of the net too, that's something else we talk about. How's our energy? How's our communication? I think if we really put the focus inward, I think we'll be able to maintain that momentum and hopefully come away with another win.
And we'll have that one for you at 7 o'clock on Thursday, right here on KDAK, the Cardinal. Can't end this interview in a more relaxed setting than a pregame interview without congratulating Coach Troutman. She got engaged a couple of weeks ago. Did it come as a surprise?
Yeah, yes.
Very good. So congratulations to Coach Troutman for that, and hopefully the beginning of a really, really big year with, you know, the volleyball program now.
Yes, thank you so much.
Great start to the season, and we'll see you in Edgeley on Thursday.
Thank you.
Head coach Megan Troutman, senior co-captain Isabel Wendell, our guest. We will come back and we'll preview Harvey-Wells County with Coach Smith when the Carrington Coaches Show continues in a moment.
There's no community like a Cenex community. That's why every Cenex store is proud to serve theirs by supporting local athletic teams, promoting the arts, and making sure each store is a place its neighbors can find what they need, catch up with their friends, and stay connected. It's also why we give back, helping to make the wonderful places we call home the best they can be. The store next door, powered locally at Cenex.
Visit your local Arrowwood Prairie Co-op in Carrington, Wimbledon, Cooperstown, and Sutton.
Looking for great rates and a secure investment? Well, we have the right options to grow your savings. Hi, this is Tiffany Paulson at Bank Forward Carrington. Our current CD specials offer a variety of options, including annual percent yield as high as 5% for 7 months. Stop in today for all the details. Helping you save more. It's simply the Forward way. Additional terms and conditions apply. Bank Forward, member FDIC.
Dakota Central is proud to be the local company that provides you with the most up-to-date high-tech communication options. Come join us while we celebrate you. Customer Appreciation Day is September 11th at the Dakota Central Jamestown location from 8:30 till 4. Stop by for treats, giveaways, and a chance to win door prizes. Dakota Central provides it all, and we want to thank you, our local customer. Customer Appreciation Day is September 11th at the Jamestown location from 8:30 till 4.
When it comes to making farm decisions, nothing is better than seeing for yourself how products perform in the field. I'm Darren Hefty with Hefty Seed Company, and we want to invite you to our Wilton Plot Tour. On Friday, September 6th, we'll be showcasing plots with the latest hybrids and varieties of corn, soybeans, and wheat, as well as comparison trials of numerous natural products. Plus, our expert agronomists will be on hand to help you build your best strategies to maximize yields and minimize costs. Join us at our Wilton store at 9 a.m. Friday, September 6th.
When you're thinking about insurance, think of Bickett Insurance. Bickett Insurance, through our partnership with Auto Owners Insurance, can take care of your farm, home, auto, business, or life insurance needs. The agents of Bickett Insurance have over 115 years of insurance experience, and we are from here, so we know how to design policies to protect the things important to you. Let Bickett Insurance give you a free proposal from Auto Owners Insurance or one of our many other partners. Give Bickett Insurance a call at 652-1775 today.
Carrington sports fans, want to stay on top of all the local action? Catch what you missed by checking out the Foster County Independent. From game-changing plays to memorable moments, we've got you covered with the most in-depth sports coverage in town. And don't miss our stunning photo galleries that capture every thrilling moment and winning smile. For the latest scores, stories, and stunning sports shots, grab your copy of the Foster County Independent today or visit us online at fosterconews.com.
Back at the Prairie Inn Restaurant and Bakery, it is the Carrington Coaches Show. Don't forget, Thursday night, 7 o'clock or thereabouts, it'll be Carrington and the Rebels of EKM in the District 5 opener. And then Friday night, it's Carrington football against Harvey Wells County. Coach Smith, as you can see if you're watching on YouTube, is back with us. So Harvey Wells County is, and I would have never guessed this in a million years, there's a rivalry here, isn't there?
Big rivalry, you know, and it has been since I played. And I can remember going up there as a sophomore and playing them. They were actually still Class A then. And I think we came out and won 7-0 in a hard-hitting back and forth game, defensive battle, and we scored. We had one big play, a pass play, and so just, but it's been like that year after year, decade after decade, and I expect no different this week.
What makes it a rivalry?
I think probably the proximity.
Oh, sure.
You know,
sure.
It would probably be New Rockford, but they're 9-man. You know, so just the proximity. It's our shortest bus trip. It has been for years, and we play each other in youth football and junior high and in high school. So a rivalry, but you know, both teams certainly a lot of respect both ways as well.
Yeah, and New Rockford having a great year themselves. My goodness, what they did on Friday was pretty good. So what does Harvey bring to Carrington this week? This is an offense that has a lot of potential explosive plays in it.
They do, and you have one of the best athletes in the state in their quarterback, and he's I think a 2-time state champion track athlete in the hurdles, and very fast, very explosive, and not only with his feet, but boy, he's got a great arm. You know, if you watched the Langdon game last week, and one of the last plays of the game, he rolled out to his left against his body and threw the ball 45 yards in the air into the end zone, and so he's a guy you got to try and slow down somehow. You know, they run on the eye, so they're oftentimes play faking with him and rolling him out, which is really smart because he's so good with his legs, and he's an accurate passer, and And then they have, that's Thorson, and then they have a running back named Sieg who's really strong, really athletic. He reminds me a lot of what Michael Clifton played a couple of years ago. He reminds me a lot of that big, strong, fast. He'd rather run over you than around you, but he can run away from you too. So we're going to have our work cut out for us defensively. We talked before, they put up 42 points on Langdon, and my 9 years of coaching, I can't remember anybody in a single game, regular season playoffs, putting up that many points. So they're clicking offensively, and we're going to have to try and slow them down.
And they're probably, a lot of 0-3 teams, I think this would be true for Grafton. They're bereft of confidence right now. I highly doubt Harvey is lacking confidence right now.
No, pushing the number 4 team in the state like they did, they led most of the game, and it slipped away at the end there. But certainly was a confidence boost for them, just knowing that they can score that many points against a notoriously good defensive team in Langdon. They're 0-3, but they're not going to come and play us like they're 0-3, and we expect a battle for 4 quarters, and whoever can execute, whoever can perform better and limit penalties and limit turnovers is going to come out with a win.
On that, I'm so glad you brought that up. On that subject, the last 2 weeks now, you've got 3 penalties for 15 yards. Another sign of the maturity and the sort of calm nature of your team.
Exactly. That starts with Josh at quarterback, keeping guys calm, and I think it helps, having a lot of returners and running the same offense, so guys know where to line up, and you don't have those mix-ups. And so, I wasn't even aware of that stat till you just said it, but that's pretty darn good if you can limit yourself to that few penalties over the course of 3 games, and so we need to keep that up, because in games like this, those little ticky-tack penalties can cost you a game. So we need to play as clean as we can and take care of the ball and continue to execute on both sides of the ball.
Now, there is going to be a lot of tongue-in-cheek to this next question. You're hardly getting to 3rd down. I mean, it's just not happening. But when you do get there, 1 for your last 11, is that at all something to be concerned about?
It is a little bit, because we're going to have to get better on 3rd down. And we're going to be there more and more as we get into this bulk of the region, and we're playing better teams. So, and part of that comes from me selecting a better play and the kids executing it. But but if you don't have to get there, that's even better.
You had your first 2 drives. The very first 3rd down was a touchdown pass to Ryder. That was pretty impressive for you guys on Friday night. So, mobile quarterback, what's the biggest adjustment for your defense? Is it something up front, something with the linebackers? What changes for you guys?
I think it's a combination of all of that. Our linemen have to be disciplined on action away, because he's going to roll out back toward your side. Same with our linebackers; they got to read slow on action away and just kind of scrape and fill gaps. And then we're going to have somebody responsible for Thorson wherever he goes. But it's going to take all 11 guys on the field to try and contain an offense that explosive, and so it's really being patient, executing properly, and knowing your assignment.
Back when I was in high school, it was a hot time to be spying a mobile quarterback. Is that still a thing in high school ball, or is that a little too difficult?
No, it is, but the hard thing with spying a kid like his is he's faster than we have. So we've got to, if you spy him, you still have to contain him, because he's going to run away from pretty much everyone we have on the field. So it's going to take a lot of us, like I said, all on the same page, containing him and working him inside out, and try to limit the damage he can do.
Speed. You guys have a lot of it. Can you simulate this kid properly in practice?
We probably can with one of our starters, and certainly some things we'll look at this week as far as, especially the play action stuff they do. He's so good at hiding the ball, rolling out away from the play action, and so our defensive ends have to be really disciplined at staying on his back hip and not attacking too hard, and backside linebackers, like I said, got to stay home and read pass and try and like I said, he's going to have some big plays. We know that, but the goal is to minimize the explosive plays that we allow them.
Now, the last couple of years, you've been able to run the ball pretty successfully against them. What do you see from their defense?
It looks like they run a 4-3 defense. Their linebackers fill hard, and they're very physical up front. I think the offense they run, it kind of breeds physicality. They're under center and they're in the eye, and so that kind of carries over defensively too. A lot of those kids plays both ways, so I think we're in for a very physical game, and whoever can win the battle of the trenches is going to stand the better chance to come out with the W.
And certainly it'll be a nice help to have the Cardinal Stadium crowd behind you, because you're pretty much going to need everybody this week.
Yeah, it's really nice to be playing at home, and we've been on the road for a couple weeks, so that when you're playing a big rivalry, I think it's going to be a huge crowd. I imagine you're going to see standing room only and cars around the football field out there, so it should be a pretty neat atmosphere. It's going to be a beautiful night, it looks like, so hopefully we get a big crowd and really get the kids going and get both sides excited and see a good game.
Do you allow yourself as a coach to look at this game in the macro, in the big picture? This is a big game. You win this game, you will have beaten Harvey with 2 more home games still to come, a couple long road trips still to come, but do you allow yourself to view the big picture a little bit?
I really don't. I really like to take 1 week at a time, because all it takes is to look at, well, if we win this week and we win next week and then we're 6-0, we're 7-0. It's all about being 2-0 in the region right now, and that's all that matters to me. I don't watch film on anybody else. It's all about beating Harvey, and if we beat Harvey, then we move on to the next one. But I have a hard time looking at the big picture. I look week to week, and then at the end of the season, I'll look back and say, that was a good season, hopefully.
Yeah, well, it certainly started well, 3-0. The other scores in the region on Friday night, I think we may have both expected that Park River, who will be here for homecoming in a week, would have a home advantage against Rugby, but credit to the Panthers, they went over there and got a win.
Yeah, and Rugby was one of those teams, I think we'd talked early in the season, that I knew they only had a few seniors last year, only a handful, and I knew they were going to be a lot better this year. They have some very skilled and quick kids over there. There's a Wizavy kid that's awfully talented, and I'm not sure what they have at quarterback this year, but yeah, another team that, that's why you got to bring your A game every Friday night, because they're a team that, just like Park River, any of those teams, they can beat you if you don't show up. So that's why I like to take 1 week at a time, because that's the only team you got to worry about beating that week.
Well, it should be a good one Friday night. We'll have it for you starting at 6:30. Carrington and Harvey Wells County, the first of 2 straight on home field at Cardinal Stadium. If I say so myself, I think it's about time we've earned some home games these days.
Yeah, exactly. We put on a lot of miles in the last 2 weeks, and we got some more to put on as the season goes. But yeah, it'll be nice to be back home and not have to make that long road trip.
Definitely. Well, Coach, we'll see you there on Friday, and we're looking forward to it.
Appreciate it. Thanks, BJ.
The head coach of Carrington football, Kyle Smith. And that is it for the Carrington Coaches Show. We thank Coach Smith, also Tate Wolski, and volleyball head coach Megan Troutman, and senior co-captain Isabel Wendell for joining us. Next week, it'll be very much about homecoming week as Cardinal football gets ready for Park River after Friday night's game with Harvey Wells County. We thank you for joining us for the Carrington Coaches Show live from Prairie Inn.
Thank you for joining us for the Carrington Coaches Show, live from the Prairie Inn in Carrington on KDAK The Cardinal and the KDAK The Cardinal YouTube page. If you missed this or any other Carrington Coaches Show, you can always go back and listen to the KDAK podcast page at newsdakota.com and on the KDAK The Cardinal YouTube page. The proceeding has been a presentation of I3G Media Sports.
There's no community like a Cenex community. That's why every Cenex store is proud to serve theirs by supporting local athletic teams, promoting the arts, and making sure each store is a place its neighbors can find what they need, catch up with their friends, and stay connected. It's also why we give back, helping to make the wonderful places we call home the best they can be. The store next door, powered locally at Cenex.
This is your local